Welcome to SURIYAS Academy. If you are new to my channel, then hit the subscribe button and support us. In today's video, we are going to discuss about constants in C, introduction and its types. Now we want to know about what is a constant. A constant is a name given to a variable name whose values remains the same, that is, it cannot be altered or changed. It can hold only a single variable during the execution of the program. That is, the constant variable has to be initialized at the declaration part and the value remains the same throughout the program. And then we can define a constant in C language using the const keyword, which is also known as the const type qualifier. It is a qualifier. It is a keyword or it can be represented as a qualifier. In C, we had already discussed about 32 types of keyword, which has been discussed earlier. Of this, now for defining a constant, we are going to use the keyword const, C-O-N-S-T, const. Now, the syntax to define a constant is given as below. That is, const, data type, variable name equal to value, which ends with a semicolon. Here, constant refers to the keyword. And the data type, it can be of any data type, which can be of integer, float or character or whatever. And then the variable name, it can be given by the user, that is, it is the user defined name. And then the value can be assigned by the user. This value remains the same throughout the program. An example we can define as const integer count, that is the variable name can be referred as a count and its value can be referred as a 100. According to this example, this value count, that is the variable name count, has been assigned a value 100, which remains as a constant value throughout the execution of the program. And now we want to know about the constant properties. We are going to discuss about two properties. The first one is we have to initialize the constant variable in C at the time of its declaration. In the declaration part itself, we have to initialize the constant variable. Otherwise, it will store the garbage value. That is, garbage value is nothing but it is a predefined value stored in the memory location which can be assigned by itself. That is, it is not a proper value. It is an improper value. Garbage value is stored in the memory of a variable without being initialized or declared with a proper value. What happens if it assumes a garbage value, which will lead to an unpredictable output of the program. So we have to declare the constant variable and assign a value to it. Then we will get the proper output. And then next constant, second property is once value given as a constant, it cannot be modified. That is, they can be initialized only once and which cannot be altered or which cannot be again reinitialized. Now we can discuss an example. With this example, you would be very clear. In this example, hash include stdio.h and then conio.h. Within the main program, void main, we had declared here constant integer sum equal to 25. This is here we had declared, or we are using the proper syntax and we are assuming the variable name sum with the data type integer and the value as 25. This is the constant value. And in the next statement, here we are declaring as sum equal to 100. This cannot be done. The compiler will lead to will declare it as a error program, error value. That is, once it can be initialized, it cannot be changed. So we cannot declare it again as a sum equal to 100. Hope now you would be very clear. And then constants can be defined using an hash defined preprocessor. This is one more type. The constant defined using hash defined or the macros that behave like a constants. These constants are also handled by the preprocessor and are replaced by their value before compilation. In the previous type, when we are using constant as a keyword, these constants are handled by the compiler. And now when we are using a hash defined preprocessor, these constants are handled by the preprocessor and are replaced by the value before compilation. Now the syntax of a hash defined preprocessor is hash defined constant name and then value. Here we have to note that when we are using a hash define, it will not end with a semicolon. That is, semicolon is not needed here. Here we had already discussed about the hash defined preprocessor in the structure of the C program. You can refer. And then the example can be defined as the hash defined pi 3.14. That is the pi value, which value is replaced using or represented using a 3.14. Now again consider this example. for using a representing a hash defined preprocessor. Here hash include stdio.h, conio.h. Here before the main itself we are defining the hash defined PI 3.14. That is the value is defined using the hash defined preprocessor. And within the main we are declaring two variables, integer radius and area, rad as radius, area. And then printf enter the radius of the circle. Here we are reading the through scanf statement we are reading the radius value with the format specifier. Since it is declared as integer we are using here %d, and then area is calculated using pi r square formula, pi into rad into rad, that is radius into radius. This pi when we are using here, this value will be replaced by the hash defined pi statement 3.14. This 3.14 value will be replaced here, and then using the printf statement we are printing the value. Again area is also integer, so we are using the %d, that is the integer format specifier. Now you would be very clear about the hash defined preprocessor. And then the next one we want to know about what are the literals in C. Literals are known as the values that we assign to the variables. Literals are also same as the constant whose values remains the same throughout the execution of the program. This is the key definition. Then what is the difference between a constant and a literal? Constant is a keyword. Here literal is the value that we assign to the variables. That is, consider this as constant integer count equal to 100. In this expression, that is in this expression here constant is a keyword, integer data type, count equal to 100. This 100 value, that is the value assigned to the variable count, this 100 is referred as the constant integer literal. This is called as the literals in C. And then the types of constants in C. Here we are going to discuss about 4 types of constants: integer constant, floating point constant, character constant and a string constant. We will discuss about all those 4 types of constants in the next video as part 2 video. Okay, that's all for today's video. Stay tuned with Sai Suriyas Academy. Thank you.